So here I am, I'm at my grandmother's house actually. She's not home, but she left the door open and I've come in and I've set up the whole podcast thing. And so when she walks in, she's going to get a surprise when she sees next to her lazy boy there's a set of headphones and a microphone. I mean, I'll have to explain to her first what a podcast is for posterity. She's always talking about how she's going to die soon. Doesn't have much time left, so I'm like, come on, do the podcast with me and let's leave a message on the interweb. Who knows, maybe in hundreds of years someone will be able to hear the sage advice from my grandma. So watch the space. Grandma will be here in a minute, and I'm interested to see how she reacts to being corralled into a podcast with her grandson. Let's see how it goes. Can you hear me?
I can.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want them answered immediately.
Oh, no.
Yeah, interrogation. This is a podcast, the show that I've started, Grandma.
No.
No, it's not?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, you know, all right, yeah, you don't know. Yeah, so you don't know what a podcast is either?
No. And
I'll tell you. A podcast is basically, like you've got in the room there the talkback radio going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like that, but it goes on the internet.
Oh.
So it'll be on there in the internet space forever, long after you're gone.
Oh. Well, that won't be long.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You're always talking about how you're going to kick the bucket any day now.
Am I?
You do talk about it a lot, I think.
Oh, well, sorry about that.
No, don't say sorry. I think it's good to have a healthy relationship with death and to be...
Well, I mean, let's face it, I'll be 88 in March.
Right. And
I would only be able to carry on much longer than that if I were divine or something like that.
What if you just didn't die? What if you just kept
going? Well, I'd want a new body.
Oh, yeah. What's wrong with the one you've got now?
Hang on till I get a paper and pen and you can write it down, or a pad.
All right, a whole novel.
Yeah, everything. No, I'm all right. For my age, I'm very lucky.
Yeah, especially your faculties there. You got, you're very sharp as a tack.
A friend of mine always used to call the faculties the facilities.
Facilities. Oh, right. So, do you consent to being on this podcast and your voice recorded for...
Certainly, Dan,
okay.
for posterity.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. You didn't think I'd understand that, did you? Posterity.
Oh, I knew you would. I only learned that word a few years ago myself. It sounds like posterior, which is like your backside.
Yeah, right.
But it's actually looking towards the front, the future, for posterity. This is I've got some kind of basic questions I want to grill you through.
Okay.
Yeah, just first thing comes to your mind. Don't stress out. So, first question for you, Grandma, is what are the most important lessons you've learned in your life?
To be kind.
Yes. Why do you say it like that?
Well, because I'm trying to be like our leader.
Oh, just see, taking the piss out of Jacinda.
Yes.
But you agree with her on that one? Is that the only thing?
Well, yes, I do agree. Everybody should be kind, but unfortunately we're not.
Why is...
Well, because we're selfish.
Right.
Everybody is basically selfish because that's the will to live. It's built into you.
Like you have to be selfish to survive because...
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, like you've got to look after number one before you can look after 2, 3 and 4. Right. To be kind. Like, yeah. I heard someone the other day say, you can always be kinder. I liked that.
Well, that's a fact.
Yeah. Any other ones besides to be kind? Is that your credo?
No, it's not really. I mean,
or like,
if I thought about it, no, the main thing in life is to be happy. And if you are happy, you have been kind, because other people will be nice to you.
Yeah, you can't really be happy in yourself if you know you've been mean.
No, absolutely.
Was that a lesson that you figured out early on, or did it take you a good 80 years to figure out that you're supposed to be kind?
No, I mean, I think that a parent teaches its offspring to be kind. Well, most parents do. Some parents certainly don't. But Mr. Conscience that's sitting in the back of your head lets you know when you have, it's called conscience. You just, I would have a bad conscience if I felt I had been really horrible enough to hurt people and do damage to them, and I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I think that's the concept of karma for me.
Ah, yes.
Like, people say karma means, like, if you do something bad will happen to you. But I think that's more like internal karma. Like, if you did something bad, you will feel bad.
Absolutely.
And that's, yeah. Unless you're just a total sociopath and you have no feelings or empathy for others.
Well, they're around.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do, like, the intro. Grandma Price, thank you for being on the show with me.
It's a pleasure, Dan.
This show is called The Resetters because we're trying to reset people's mind on certain ideas of things.
I like the idea.
Yep. Do you want to say a quick hello, and here I am on The Resetters show.
Hello, and here I am on the Resetters show, ready to be reset and looking forward to it.
Thank you. I'll have to send you a copy of this somehow. I don't know how. We'll figure it out anyway. I don't know what you use. CDs, cassettes, or...
What are they?
Yeah. You know, the gramophones?
That's right. That's
yeah,
it. You've got it.
I'll get a print. Okay. Here's a question for you. Who has influenced you the most in your life?
Well, I suppose my parents.
What do you remember about your parents?
What do I remember about my parents? Well, I often think about them. I really do, often. They tried to put us all on the right track. They might have gone the wrong way sometimes, looking back on it. But no, they really tried to bring us up with certainly a sense of honesty, and honesty was one of the main things that my father was very, very strict on us with. But
your father, the police officer?
Yeah, that's the one. Yes, but no, I had good parents, and I think that they put the basic principles into your brain.
Influenced you. So you've remained an honest person. What, 90%?
Yeah. Well,
no one's 100% honest. Everyone lies a bit, don't they?
No. I try to be honest, but sometimes I'm not honest. Honesty has several facets, doesn't it? Honesty in dealing with money and all that, and honesty with people. And I don't think that sometimes it is good to be perfectly honest with people, otherwise you probably have no friends.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, I think you were the person who introduced me to the concept of the white lie.
Did I really?
I think maybe we were going to have a cigarette together out the back one day when I was like 16. It's a white lie. It's a white lie that you doesn't hurt anybody.
Where was that?
In Culverden.
Oh, really?
Yeah, behind the police station there.
What a strange place to pick if you're going to do something dishonest.
Yeah, behind the police station. Yeah, that's the last place they look for the criminals. The police station. There's something we both had in common. We both had police officers for fathers.
Yeah.
I think though having that father as a police officer, it kind of makes you more careful about being caught. Because,
It makes you think about it. It certainly, but
it makes you better at getting away with stuff because you've got living with the detective.
Basically, I am an honest person, but as I said before, it's not always the best thing to be honest with people in everything you say, because you don't need to hurt people's feelings.
Yeah.
If there's you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, luckily we have inner monologues to have to say everything we think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you came to see me one day and I was on the bed and you thought, God, the old girl's on the way out, you're not going to say, Grandma, goodbye. And I might say, I'm not ready yet.
So you brought it up again, talking about death again.
Yeah, so I did.
Yeah. That's good, yeah. I mean, you've been doing that for a while.
Have I?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe it's good to joke about it, I guess.
No,
you
you're
can't take
being
it too
honest.
seriously.
I must stop that. But
Do you think, though?
Well, I don't know. With my friend who lives opposite, we spend quite a lot of time together. And it's amazing how often we get around to talking about death and people dying, because they're doing it all around us.
Yeah, right. Sure. Yeah. I don't think about it that. I guess as I get older, I do think about it a little bit.
No, you won't when your age.
So you think about it more now that, because you literally do have friends dying around you in this retirement village.
Oh, certainly. And now, I used to have quite a large circle of friends, but it's diminishing because they're dying.
Yeah.
And, it's very sad, but and not only that, they get dementia. My very best friend that I've had since I was 7, I was talking to her this morning, as a matter of fact, but she's got dementia, and she remembers me, but yes, she's got dementia.
You can't have a conversation like you used to.
Not as we used to, no, and it's sad, but I'll keep with her, and I won't forget to go and see her, because I really love Alison, and it's very sad to see her.
Probably means something to her too.
Well, she was an intelligent woman. She was world president of the Inner Wheel Society, which won't mean anything to you, but it's the ladies' division of the Rotary Club in New Zealand. And she was world president.
World president.
World president. She travelled all over the world in the time she was president, and I mean, I'm just trying to illustrate how.
I like the name, the Inner Wheel.
Yeah.
Right, was the Rotary Club though? Was it traditionally like a men's?
Oh, it is
thing?
a men's.
Right.
Well, I don't know about that now. They may have women.
Traditionally, though.
Traditionally, men's.
Right, but it was secretly being run by women from the inside.
No, you had to be the wife of a Rotarian to belong.
Were you the wife of a Rotarian?
No.
No.
Cliff did try it. He was invited to join, and I think he
kicked out.
Lasted about 6 months and didn't like it. And Rotary is supposed to do good work.
Right, for the community.
Exactly.
It's like the Lions Club, right?
Oh, yes, very, very similar principles.
Right.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Is it the Rotary because the motto is like, what goes around comes around? Is that the idea of the wheel?
I suppose it is.
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or it's like the symbol was a ship. A ship's, what do you call wheel, isn't it? Or is it more like a cog?
It's like a cog.
Right, so there's the metaphor. Everyone's an important part of
Oh, I think it is.
society.
Yes, that's right.
One cog stops working and the whole machine breaks down.
Well, yeah.
Something like that.
True.
A Rotarian. Maybe I could be a Rotarian one day.
Well, you'll have to be ready to go out and... this is really what put Cliff right off. There was supposed to be a gathering of Rotarians at a certain playground near Littleton to bring their own garden tools and all the rest of it, and lawnmower, etc.
Working bee.
Yeah, working bee. And it was the middle of summer and as hot as hell, and he went off to the working bee and he was the only one that turned up.
What?
And he was absolutely so furious when he got home. He said, "That's the last time I'm going to Rotary." They're not sincere. Yeah,
right.
Last time.
Maybe he went there on the wrong day or something.
No, he didn't.
That sounds weird. A working bee and one person turned up. Did he actually do any work though, or is he just like?
Oh yes, he did.
Did he? Yeah. So he did. He just got into it.
He mowed all the lawns all around the playground. He was there away nearly all day.
I think the idea for working bee is that it's like a beehive. It's supposed to be lots of people.
Of course it is.
And so if I turned up to a working bee and I was the only one there, I would not do anything because it's the social connectivity of it as well.
Well, yes, exactly, but.
He just mowed the lawns angrily.
Very angrily.
Oh, I'm sure the kids appreciated it in their own way, having cut grass. Oh, so did he say anything to the Rotarians, or he just didn't?
Yes, he did. He wrote a letter and resigned and said why he was resigning and...
Did they say anything back, I wonder?
I don't remember.
Right, yeah. That's hilarious. What secret societies have you belonged to in your days? Tell me now. It's okay.
No actual secret societies, but lots of secrets.
Okay. You going to share one?
No.
Okay. It wouldn't be a secret. Can you say segue?
Segue?
Yeah.
What is it?
Moving from one topic to another.
Oh.
But it's because it's just like I put these like sound bites in and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So say it, would you?
Segue.
I'm on tour.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
How about this question? What life advice would you pass along?
Stay living.
Stay living.
No.
Besides to be kind.
Try not to let your worries weigh you down.
That sounds like your good advice for yourself there.
Oh, indeed.
Do you think you worry more?
Yes, I'm a real born worrier.
But so you've always been a worrier.
Always.
Right. Oh, there's the clock. That's how you know you're in Grandma's house. Wonder what's the name for that that melody?
Westminster Chimes. That's London, Westminster Chimes, yeah. That's
cool.
The same chimes as Big Ben has.
Right. You're a born worrier, you say, but are you worrying more as you get older?
Probably. You worry about things when you get older about, will I have enough money to last? Oh, here comes death again. Till I die.
Surely you don't worry about that. I think you're fairly financially stable.
Oh, well,
you can always ask me for a loan.
Oh, thank you, Dan. No,
a couple of $100 or something.
I am. I'll be all right, but I've just got to watch it.
What you worrying?
No, watch the money.
Oh, gee. What are you spending it on? Your drug habits taking over.
Oh, hell yeah. A real problem.
Yeah. Problem is you can't get decent drugs. That's your drug problem.
Do you know, I've only once tried a drug.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've told you this.
I don't know.
I was at a party in my broadcasting days, excuse me, and someone handed around a joint.
Hey.
And so everyone was having a puff, and I took a puff, and then it came around a second time, and I took a puff, and waited for this wonderful feeling to come over me.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
Oh, damn! What a letdown.
I was so disappointed. And that's the only time I've tried.
Right. Is it the only time you've been offered, though?
Yes, that's the only time I've ever been offered a drug.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
But honestly, sometimes I felt like seeking some out.
Yeah.
It's quite, when you live in a complex, as I do, sometimes, especially in this tone with COVID around, because there used to be miles more things on in the main building.
Yeah.
Sorry about the croaky voice.
That's fine.
And you know, it used to be much more social.
Here.
Yeah.
Before the COVID thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit, that sucks, eh? Just as you moved in.
Well, it was just as I moved in, and sometimes you get a bit lonely. I do, but I'm getting over that. But loneliness is a thing that I, in my personality, well, loneliness isn't a personality thing, of course, but yes, I get lonely. That's one of the worst things that...
At least you are surrounded by people, you know, around your same age group in a similar situation here. Not,
yes, but...
Like, as far as making friends here, it's not too hard.
Oh, no, I've made several friends here, and one particular friend, which is good. But I still get lonely.
Yeah. Not to say a friend with weed is a friend indeed.
Well, I know it'd be a bit difficult to...
Yeah, I could get you some, but I don't know. Like, if you got your croaky voice and you quit smoking about 10 years ago, I don't think it'd be any
10
good.
10 years ago, about 40 years ago.
No, because I remember smoking with you when I was like 20, and I'm 40.
Oh, true.
That maybe it was more like when I was, like I was saying, smoking a cigarette with you behind the police station. I was about 16 then, so it's more like 15 years ago you quit.
Oh, yes, at least that.
Wait. No, that's 25 years. Gee, I just lost a decade.
Yeah, that's more.
Yeah, 25 years. Okay. And also, Dad told me that if I gave you weed, he would kill me.
If you what?
Gave you weed.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember for a while you were talking about, the pain relief benefits of marijuana, which I didn't really understand at the time. It's this thing called CBD oil, which actually is like the cannabis, but it has the high part removed.
Oh.
But it retains the pain relief benefits.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
is that what they give in hospitals?
That version of it, yeah.
Well, why on earth don't they make it legal and available?
Do you remember what you voted on the referendum for marijuana?
Yes.
But you voted no to legalize it.
I know.
So there's your answer. That's why we don't have access to this sort of stuff.
Yeah, but why didn't they advertise it more? You know, about... If there is another referendum on it, I will definitely vote yes, but...
Yeah. I remember there definitely was pro-advertising for it. I did some... But I remember I saw in your house, you had the Listener magazine in here, and they had a massive... 8-page spread about all the evils and why everyone should vote no. And I was like, oh, damn you, Listener magazine. It was not very balanced argument. Yeah.
Well, it can't be a balanced argument, because I think someone that gets hooked on cannabis, could ruin their lives.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, cannabis for pain relief, I think, would be a wonderful thing, especially for people like me who happen to be allergic to morphine.
Are you? Oh, that sucks. That's the good stuff. Yeah, I just saw a guy yesterday. He smokes marijuana for his nerve pains. He's had like neck and back spine surgery. He's got these scars on his back. And he's telling me, he smokes the... I think he said that the CBD, though, that did some of the pain, but then the one that gets you high, it seems to actually do a better job at his pain relief.
Well, I mean, it would make you feel good.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say...
The other one doesn't make you go all happy and...
Yeah, well, it's not that much of a magic drug. Like marijuana does give some people paranoia. It starts opening up thought, or maybe things you haven't really dealt with in your mind that it forces you to deal with. But it can, often it's definitely portrayed as this magical happy drug. I thought it was a magical happy drug, and then when I was 15, I went into Dad's police office, and there was a big bag of marijuana on his table. And then he went out, and then I climbed in the window of the police station, and I grabbed a handful, and I was starting high school that week. And every day before high school, my first week at that school, on the way to school, under the bridge, I would smoke a joint. Because I thought, I'd never really done it much before, but I just had this idea that it was this thing that made you happy and friendly and social and imaginative. And that's how I wanted to be perceived, and I wanted to make a good impression at the school. So every day I went to school fucking high as a kite, and they're like, look at this new guy. They must have thought he's a bit weird, eh? And then on the last day, that Friday, I'm on the back field with the kids having a cigarette, and like 5 or 6 police officers jump out of the trees, and one of them was Dad.
Were you smoking cannabis?
No, because I didn't actually share it with anyone. We were smoking cigarettes. I did it myself.
So when your father jumped out of the tree,
I
did he go for you first?
No, he was a bit more ashamed. He was like hanging back, and the other cops were like doing it. And because I think I told one of the kids at school, I thought I could trust him, and I told him that I was smoking weed. Then I realized after I told him that this was the last guy who was ever going to smoke weed. And I just had, figured him wrong.
And did he tell his parents or the school or something?
He must have. Maybe the teachers smelt it on me. Or something. But so they were like, I was like, oh, thank God the marijuana's in my school bag. It's not on me, because all the cops are searching us.
God.
And they don't find anything. So the next thing they say, all right, let's go search their school bags. I was like, oh shit, I'm in it now. And I'm also thinking, Dad's going to get in trouble when they find out that the marijuana I've been smoking was stolen from his police office. He'll be in the shit. But luckily I got to the school bag. The guy's like, there's one police officer making us get the bags, and the other police are hanging around. Get your school bag. And while I got the school bag, I managed to reach in, grab the container with the weed, and throw it in the rubbish bin. And he searched my bag, and I was crapping myself. Absolutely. But got away with it.
Oh my God, you were lucky.
Yeah, back at the police station, they're drilling me. We know you're smoking. Dad's like, we're going to drug test you. And I'm just like, poker face. Oh, fine, drug test me then. I've never done that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, in the end, got away with it. But I felt like it was God telling me to not do marijuana or drugs. So I didn't do marijuana or drugs for like a whole another month. No, I couldn't even get weed in Colverton. That's why I had to steal it from the police station.
Well, I mean, what a temptation to see it sitting on the desk.
Yeah. Just spilling over in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, weren't you lucky?
Yeah.
And wasn't your father lucky?
Yeah, because it turned out there was another... In the town over, there was a kid who did the same thing, but he was stealing the weed from his father, the police officer, and selling it to kids at school.
Oh, hell.
And so when the dad busted him, he had to go to his superiors and be, oh, my kid's been stealing the weed that I haven't been, locking up properly.
Well, how did we get starting about that?
I don't know. Oh. Segue. Here's a good question for you. what are the most rewarding things about getting older?
There aren't any.
Closer to death. Sweet relief. No, come on. There must be some benefits to getting older. You've gained all this wisdom. Isn't life like you never stop learning? So the older you get, the
the main benefit of getting older is that you get the pension.
Oh, because that's heaps, eh?
Well, it's enough to live on, believe me.
Yeah. Okay. Great. That's good to know.
You can. You've got to be.
Maybe in Christchurch, maybe not in Auckland. Yeah. Cool. The pension. Well, you've had that for a while now.
Oh, I have.
Yeah.
Look, this is interesting then, if you're asking about old people. This is something I have noticed which really offends me, or used to offend me. Now I just suck it up. You go somewhere to a gathering of people and they have one look at you and estimate your age and think, oh yeah, and they don't talk to you.
Right.
They have they're all talking, but because you're old, you're left sitting, and now it doesn't worry me now because I'm just so used to it. But at first you wonder, why aren't they talking to me?
Yeah.
But now I've spoken to many old people, and we still have some intelligence and ability to talk to people, but they don't. It's really amazing.
That's called ageism.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like racism. You see, if you're a racist, you see a black person, you're like, I'm not talking to that person. You see an octogenarian. What do you call octogenarian? What's the word for an 80?
Octogenarian.
You see an octogenarian, you're like, well, I'm not talking to that person. I don't want to hear about the 1950s.
Correct.
Yeah, so your advice to people, if you're at a party and you see an octogenarian, don't be an ageist. Go over there as you would to anybody else and say, how's it going?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, you're actually one of the people I have, even though you are octogenarian, I have better conversations with you, I think, like at least on the phone, than I do most people.
Well, yes, but I think that you and I, from the very beginning, had a special relationship.
A special relationship, right. Like Tony Blair and Bill Clinton. No, like, you're Margaret Thatcher. And I'm Obama.
Yeah. I think Thatcher was dead when Obama.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to be the cool president.
Do you know that Maggie Thatcher was found in a park when she was old? No, not.
Yeah, I'm liking this where it's going. Yeah.
No, and she didn't know where she was and who she was or anything. And isn't that sad? A woman with her brains and
who used to lead the country.
Absolutely, and here she was, didn't know where the hell she was or where she was going, and she was picked up by a policeman because he could see that she was in some distress.
Right, and he recognised her as Maggie.
Well, she was Maggie Thatcher because he had to,
Yeah. All right, I thought that it was going to go somewhere else, like she's in the park, and not that she didn't know where she was. I feel bad for laughing now.
To be kind.
And we're back. News Talk ZB with Grandma Price. We had a caller send in a question. Had a question sent in from your other grandson, Gareth. He wanted me to ask you, what's your biggest regret in life?
That's my secret.
Oh, God, you're not giving me... What's one of your regrets then? What's a regret? Your secret. Don't you think secrets are more fun when you share them? Like, if you die and you don't tell anyone, then no one ever knows. And what's the fun of a secret that no one ever knows?
Well, it's not much of a secret, but my biggest regret in life I should never have married Cliff.
Really? Right, but you were quite young when you got married.
I was 21.
You were too young, do you think? Or he was the wrong guy, you mean?
Yes, he was the wrong guy.
Oh, really?
I'm not trying to put Cliff down. He was a very good father. He was a good provider. Everything, but he didn't talk to me.
Yeah, right.
And I never got to know the real Cliff.
Yeah.
And I hope the family's not going to hear this, are they?
Yeah, well, no one will listen to it.
Well,
posterity, maybe, you know.
I should never. When times are different now. When I was young, we lived at home. We didn't have much experience apart from our own home, because nobody even went flatting in my day.
Right, yeah.
We lived at home and we were dying to get out of it. It wasn't that it was a bad home. It wasn't a bad home, but you were just treated like a child, and you know, so everybody, all my friends, we all got married at about 21.
Just as in a way to get out of home, get your own place.
Yeah, well, yes. I mean, I thought I was in love with Cliff.
Maybe you were then.
No, I wasn't really.
No? Well, you say you didn't get to know the real Cliff, but did anybody?
No.
No one did.
No one that I know.
Right, yeah. If no one got to know him, then what was his deal? Why was he not letting people get to know him or opening up? He just...
Turn this off for a minute.
Okay. Private conversation with Grandma. Oh, so we just paused then because Grandma just told me a big secret. And I'm going to take it to the grave with me. Well, I'll just at least wait till you're dead, and then I'll tell everyone all your secrets. Don't you think that's the rule? If someone tells you a secret, and then they die, you're allowed to tell the secret that you'd kept once they're dead.
Yes, that's in the case of kings and queens and important people.
Yeah, anybody though, I think. If, you know...
Okay, when I'm dead. As long as it's not going to hurt someone who's...
That's right, they're already dead. So, someone else who's living. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because he was too old. Oh, telephone.
Hello, Nolene speaking. Yeah, just kidding. It's her grandson. He said, doesn't sound like Nolene. Who's this?
It'll be Wayne.
Wayne. Okay, Wayne's World. Here's Grandma. Tell me, Grandma, how's this podcast going for you anyway?
How's what?
This podcast we're doing, how's it going for you?
Yes, pretty well. Going pretty well. I've tried to be honest and
candid. But are you enjoying it? This kind of format of conversation?
Oh yes, well it's just like talking to you.
How's the volume? Not too loud for you?
No, just right.
Just right. Gareth said those headphones you're wearing, $350. He's mad.
Really?
Yeah, I got some like that for $20. And guess whose headphones I'm wearing?
I hate to think.
They're yours.
Where were they?
Well, I got them you gave them to me many years ago because it was from your stereo system.
Oh, right. Oh,
Gareth got the stereo and I got the headphones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think they got much use, really. You guys had a good sound system, but I don't think you cranked it very much.
Well, I wouldn't, would I?
I don't know. Why wouldn't you?
No, I don't know.
You've never really been like much of one for music. Didn't you see the Beatles or something? Was it you?
Yes, I did.
You went to the Beatles concert. Tell me about that.
Well...
You're one of those girls, screaming.
No.
Really?
No.
I thought, because the impression you get is all those girls are screaming, and that's why they stopped touring.
No. Yeah, there was a bit of screaming, but we didn't get up and scream.
Right.
But...
Had you heard much Beatles music before going to the concert?
Oh, yes. Well, there was nothing else on when the Beatles were around.
They just played it non-stop?
Yes, well, practically. But
you must have been pretty excited, though.
Oh, yes, I was. But at that stage, there were so many groups. The Rolling Stones, that was the same era, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And there was music. They were good. They were excellent. Everybody liked them, although some people wouldn't admit it. But the music today, to my way of thinking, the modern stuff that's coming out, no one will remember it. I don't think they will.
Well, the thing is, my opinion on that is, for example, you've got the radio station that plays the best of the 60s and the 70s, you know, Solid Gold FM. But and that makes you think that all the music from the 60s and 70s was amazing. But the thing is, we're only hearing the best of there. We're only hearing that album had one good song, and that one has become part of kind of our culture and society.
Yeah.
But the rest of them have been forgotten about. There's so many more songs that we've forgotten about. And it's the same for music these days, but there'll definitely be some songs that will live on.
Name one.
Okay, Little Nas maybe just came out. Okay, you got me on the spot there. One that just came out, a song that just came out.
No, because you can't think of one.
You got me. Old music today sucks.
Well, it's nothing. It's just repeat the same old words over and over again. It's just...
No, I don't even want to really argue that with you, because it's just you're so obviously wrong.
Oh.
that music just repeats itself. I mean, if you're talking about electronic music and if you're talking about drum and bass, I agree. That stuff is forgettable. But there's still a lot of artists out there putting their heart into music, and I could list a bunch to you, but you wouldn't know who they were.
No.
Yeah, so I wouldn't, it's okay to have different tastes, but I don't want to be 80 and be saying music today is shit. but perhaps it was better in your day. I will agree that there was actually a better quality of music, but I wouldn't say that means that all music today is crap.
Well, how can I possibly say that? And I didn't say that all music is.
I thought you did.
Oh, did I? Oh, well.
No.
Well, music that
I'll go
I have
back
heard. The music today, to my way of thinking, the modern stuff that's coming out, no one will remember it. No, it's forgettable. All I have heard, it's forgettable.
Yeah. Mind you, what kind of music do you consider memorable?
Well,
you told me what you wanted played at your funeral. You asked me to play guitar at your funeral. You said, can you play, do you remember this? You said, can you play Edelweiss?
Edelweiss.
From The Sound of Music.
Yes, I did.
Right. That's your idea of a great song, a banger.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I can say it's a good funeral song.
Yes, I was just going to say that. Very suitable for a funeral.
Right. Is that still your request? Do you have other... This could be your last will and testament we're doing here, Grandma. Anything you want to stipulate?
Well,
songs at your funeral?
No, I don't think. Well, I'm honestly.
What do you want on your headstone?
Oh, there's going to be no headstone.
Okay. Just unmarked grave. The unknown soldier.
Just scattered ashes to the wind.
Anywhere.
Yes, and Cliff's and my ashes will be scattered together.
Even though you just were saying about how biggest regret of life was possibly marrying him.
Yes, quite so, but he was still there all the time. He's the father of my children, and we had
a life together.
Yeah, and so if you want to know where his ashes are, they're in my wardrobe.
Right. Oh, I actually didn't. I missed his funeral, so I didn't know that he was cremated. I thought he was buried somewhere because I missed the funeral.
No, and his ashes are in my wardrobe.
What are they sitting in?
A paper bag.
Really?
No, don't be silly.
I don't know.
Well, look, I'll be perfectly honest. They're in my wardrobe in a container that the Graham and I went to the undertaker, and it was Graham, not Ian, and collected the ashes. They're not in a flash urn or anything.
Yeah, I think that's weird when people put the ashes on the mantelpiece in an urn.
Oh,
it's a bit strange to me.
Terrible. But they're in the wardrobe. I don't know. I don't open it up and look at it. I couldn't honestly tell you what the container looks like.
Oh, yeah?
It's a solid...
Do you want to open it up with me and have a look?
No, I don't.
No?
No.
Are you afraid you're going to breathe in some of the particles?
No. Oh, no. I don't want to do that, no.
Okay.
They're happy where they are.
So you're saying that Cliff is in the closet?
Yeah. The remains of Cliff.
Oh, the remains of Cliff are in the closet.
Are in my wardrobe.
When's he going to come out of the closet?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah. We're going to pause the podcast here. Yeah.
Coming out of the closet is always difficult. When I die, Ian knows.
So you want to be cremated? I just assumed you wanted to get buried or get cremated.
No, I don't want to get buried. Do you?
Well, I've already got a plot on the West Coast.
Oh, yes, you have.
Yeah, so I don't really care. I mean,
but I don't want to be. I think, honestly, burial of a body is outdated. When I was in Ashburton, much as I enjoyed myself, several times we drove past the cemetery, and I thought, that is terrible. It was all beautifully kept. There wasn't, not that I went through it, but it was beautifully kept. But for what? I mean,
right, it's a waste of space.
Skeletons under the ground. I think it's macabre.
The best way to go is to plant a tree on top of your body, and then the tree can feed off you. And then the tree becomes your headstone.
Oh, well, that's a good idea, but you wouldn't want to be in a box. I'd have to...
Like a cardboard box.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, you're going to get cremated, and then you're going to have your ashes scattered.
Yeah.
Some people, though, they prefer to have them scattered at sea or on a specific hill.
Yes, well, I have specified. And that's over Gebby's Pass.
Oh, of course, like where you...
were happy.
In the early days of marriage, and you had the little boys running around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that your happiest memories, being a young mother with two little...
most definitely.
Yeah?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Not when I was born. That was the second happiness.
Yeah. And then, of course, I had the suckling boys.
Right, yeah.
Children. And they filled a big hole in that part of my life.
Yeah, and that must have been nice too, because you're actually paid that time instead of doing it for free.
Oh, yes. No, well, children have always been my life, really.
Was that your first job then, being a housewife and
a mother? No.
What was your first job?
My first job was being office junior at R&E Tingy and Company. They were paint and wallpaper. Yeah. It was a shop, a retail shop. And my sister Leslie worked there, and they needed an office junior. And so in those days, the school leaving age was 15. So my father said to me, right, out.
Really? He made you leave school?
Oh, he definitely did.
Right.
He was on the booze then.
So what, he wanted you to bring some money into the house?
I suppose he did.
Right, you didn't keep that money that you were making at the wallpaper company?
Cripes, I only got 32 and 6 a week. 32, that's 30 shillings and 32 shillings and sixpence a week I got. And I had to...
That means nothing to me, sorry.
Well, no, but I had to buy...
Couple of bucks.
I had to buy a bike. Because I didn't have a bike. I used to go to school on the tram, and I paid 10 shillings of that money to pay this bike off, which cost me £22.
Oh, damn, that sounds expensive.
And it was a rally sports bike, and it was ever so flash.
Yeah.
And Mum didn't charge me any board until I had paid my bike off.
So what, as soon as you hit 15, your dad's like out of school? Or did you finish off the year?
No, the very bloody day
really?
after yes, really. The day after I turned 15, I was off.
Right.
And
you didn't have a say in the matter?
Not at all.
Was that common back then? All your friends were like turning 15
absolutely.
And they're popping out of school?
We were all my friends, and nearly all of us got office junior jobs. I carried there must have been about probably 10 people that were employed. Here's me with my bag with the money in it. And when Christmas time came, they sent 2 people from the office with a bag which was chained to this fella's wrist, and they walked down to the bank to get the holiday pay. Because
that was the big
haul.
Right. Oh, okay. So
but
chained.
When it came to after Christmas, I went back to my
no
bag.
chain for you.
It's incredible.
Do you ever think about skimming a bit off the top?
Oh, that has never gone behind. Absolutely never ever entered my head.
Nope.
I can honestly say that for all my life I have never ever thought of stealing anything. In the very first place, when the twins were young, my sisters Norma and Leslie, we lived in Temuka, and there used to be a chiming clock standing on the mantelpiece that it was standing on was not quite level, which made the clock stop.
Yeah.
And so Dad put 2 pennies under the legs of one side of the clock, which brought it level, and it went perfectly.
Yeah.
So one day Dad came out and the clock had stopped, and he knew it wasn't unwound as such, because it wasn't the day for it to be wound. And the 2 pennies had disappeared.
Yeah.
And the twins had pinched them.
Yeah.
So they
one each.
They had gone down to the shop and bought a penny's worth of lollies, which were boiled lollies, in a bag. And so anyway, Dad blew up. Thus, we had a coal stove in those days, which cooked everything and warmed the place and all the rest of it. This goes back to about 1935, and he made the twins got a hiding, for he knew that they.
What was a hiding constituting back
We
then?
had a strap hanging by the fireplace.
Like a belt.
No, we called it Toby Tickletails, and it had 4 tails on it.
Oh, damn.
And if we got it was a thin leather.
So cat and nine tails.
We got it round the legs.
Oh.
And it was on a hook beside the fireplace, and they got Toby Tickletails. I don't know how many strokes, but they got it all right. And
pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible. We were terrified of Toby Tickletails.
Yeah, that's so ironic.
I'm not saying that they they treated us badly. They didn't. It was just the way things were.
So like you went any friend's house you went to, they all kind of had a Toby Tickletails or a different version of the...
We all got hidings if you did something wrong. And then he made...
Not just your house, but like all your friends, everybody.
Everybody.
Was that the standard though, the strap, or did some parents switch it up and like,
I don't know.
No, you must have talked about it though.
Well, I suppose we did, but
You had Toby Tickletails,
We had Toby Tickletails.
That's such a terrible name. It's not tickling you, you're being flogged with it.
Well, exactly. No, they didn't flog us. They slapped us round the legs with it.
Oh, okay. Not drawing blood or...
Oh, no. No, not drawing blood. But you'd see the red marks. I didn't get it as much as the rest of them did, 3 of them, because I was 5 years younger. And anyway, he made them sit down then by the fire, which was going, as it always was if they wanted to cook anything. And he made those two they still had the lollies, they'd eaten a couple of them, and so he made them sit one each side of the fireplace, and they had to have turns at him opening the fireplace up, which he did from the top, and he put he made one of them put one lolly at a time into the fire and watch it till the flames took the sugar out.
Right, yeah, melted
until all those lollies that they had bought had disappeared. And then they had to go to bed for the night without tea.
Wow.
Because that was his lesson.
Did the twins get the Tickletails as well?
I don't remember that, but I bet they did. They would have got the Tickletails. When I looked after the suckling kids, I used to smack them.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Damn.
I did just with my hand round the legs if they were naughty.
Okay. Yeah, I get it on the hand a lot. But it wasn't too bad, like I did know some.
Oh no, I didn't do it like that. No.
Yeah, you put your hand out and then there'd be the wooden spoon, bang, on your hand, so it wasn't nice.
Well, of course it wasn't nice, but
yeah,
that was the how things were in those days, and times change.
Yeah, it's just so weird though that, I mean, because it's so easy to look back with hindsight 2020 and be like, obviously you shouldn't hit a kid, but things were different back then. But it's still mind-blowing to me that everyone was hitting children back then. Like,
oh, that was the punishment.
Even like schools, not even your own kid. Teachers would just be flogging on the kids, and that was like, yeah, well, maybe that teacher doesn't like you, and that's just tough luck.
Were you ever caned at school?
No way. No. I saw like a couple of kids get manhandled, like roughly dealt with, or kind of hurt, but it wasn't like so formulaic back in the days where you go to the principal and then.
Yeah, well, in Cliff's day, he was always getting caned, so he tells me.
Oh, I thought he would have been a goody good.
Yeah. Well, this is what he has told me anyway, and he's repeated this to me several times. One of the masters said to him, "Price, come out here." And so he went out there, and he said, "I haven't caned you for about a month. Bend over, boy." And
wow.
So he
sadist.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Grandma, for being on the show with me and sharing all these interesting stories from your life and secrets that you wouldn't say on mic. I had to press pause.
Well, perhaps when we talk tomorrow, if we get the chance, I might let you in on a few of my...
Right, you can meditate on it. I kind of sprung this on you, the whole podcast interview. Bit of a Spanish Inquisition.
Anyway, no one's going to listen.
That's right. If you are listening out there, lucky you. Yeah. Yeah. So thanks for being on the Resetters.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Cool. Let's talk again soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
To be kind.